Good morning, everyone. It is July 1st, 2024, and it's the favorite time of our week because it's Mondays with Bev and Paul. And hi, everybody. My name's Paul.
Good morning, this is Bev. How could it be July 1st?
I know. I looked at that this morning and went, oh my God, what's happening
The year is
here?
half over already.
Oh, and the days are getting shorter and hotter, but that's all right. So, we're going to talk about a great little topic today, as you can see up there. We are equals, and that is the basic premise of BioTouch from beginning to end and in between. And we're going to start it. The reason we got inspired by this was Pema Chodron had a little quote. I posted it on our Facebook feed, and it goes, "Compassion is not a relationship between the healer and the wounded. It's a relationship between equals. Only when we know our own darkness well can we be present with the darkness of others." Woohoo!
BioTouch for sure. I think that's what I said on your post. BioTouch.
Right, because that is, let's just start from the beginning. If you get our manual, our training manual, and we talk about the terms, the first thing we talk about is we don't call the person a healer. We don't even call them the practitioner. We use in our manual a term called the associate. And I'm just going to read you this little paragraph in our terms. Here it is right here. Terms used in this manual. And the first one is the associate is the person who performs the procedures in this manual. The term associate is used as a matter of convenience. However, the dictionary describes the role of one who is inspired to pursue this work as one often in company with another, implying intimacy or equality. Two, one having an interest in common with another. It just doesn't get any better. I mean, and this is what now, 40 years we've had this? And I think we're just starting to come to an understanding because of the amount of darkness or chaos that we see in the world. We're having an opportunity to see where does it really reside and how can something like BioTouch help us?
You know, first of all, let me say that it has been said by great teachers that the true work here on this planet called Earth, it's called equilibrium. And what has to happen is that each of us has to become aware of the two lines of force. In other words, the duality of everything that is here. It is inherent in experience here of duality. This or that, light or dark, whatever you want to say. The true work is for each of us to find that place at the center point of those two lines of force and reach a point of equilibrium, being aware but not being pulled in either direction. Boy, this is, talk about the hardest work we'll ever do, right?
Right.
With all of the stuff that's going on, we are told, please do not add to the chaos on the planet. Because it's there that you will find peace of mind. And that always reminds me of, in practicing BioTouch with another human being, we are given in that moment an amazing opportunity to just experience what that means. I can speak from my own personal experience in that moment when I give that greeting.
Right.
I don't know what it is. It brings me from here to here. And I'm just there with that person.
Right. Regardless, right? Regardless of who they are, what they believe, whether it's political, social, religious, whether they've done outrageous thing, because they're still part of humanity. And BioTouch is for all. And when we say all, we mean all of humanity. We're not taking sides here, right? Because another part in our manual, it goes like this. Everyone, comma, because of their inherent love and compassion for those who are suffering, comma, can perform these methods without limitation. When we say everyone, we mean everyone, because everyone has that inherent love and compassion. I might be stuck way down and we're not even aware of it, but you wouldn't be here if you didn't have that.
It's a suspension part
yes,
of our, isn't it?
Yes. And BioTouch truly gives us the opportunity to experience that for a moment.
Yep.
For a moment. And then the key is keep adding a moment to a moment to a moment.
I was going to say, you can do it in one moment, then the possibility is unlimited, we say, that it's going to expand and grow.
So that's why we say to people, just do the greeting. You're talking 15 seconds for you to do it to someone, 15 seconds for them to do it to you. That's 30 seconds out of a day where you can come into this equality of humanity. You know, I remember somebody asking me once, would I work on this particular vile person who was a world leader? And I went, well, yeah. And they were like shocked. How could you do that? How could you work on a person like that? Why not? You know, I might not agree with them, and we've always said that too. You don't have to like the person you're working on. They don't have to like you. You can have judgments up the wazoo. You could be thinking about what you're going to have for lunch or dinner. But the minute you do that greeting, all of that goes away. That's powerful.
That's powerful. And, you know, it's interesting because how many times I have read and studied the words that say, look beyond what you see and know that what's in back of that is true and beautiful and love. And so this is why I think BioTouch can offer such a powerful experience for us, because when you do give that greeting and you're just right there in front of someone, you're not even you don't even really engage in all that personality stuff.
Right.
You're just standing with someone who is inherently the same as you, equal.
And I think that's another great part of what we talk about over and over from the beginning of BioTouch is the self-awareness aspect of what we do. That they are the mirror for us. And as Pema Chodron said, only when we know our own darkness can we be present with the darkness of another. That is really the self-awareness key. You know, if I'm an associate and I'm in equality with another, as we call it, the recipient, I'm getting a chance to see my own mirror. This is my mirror. And we've said that over and over. You know,
right.
Whatever you're working on, and Deborah Schildhouse, who wrote our book, is always the funniest one too, because as she writes in the book, her greatest fear was working on feet.
I know.
And who's the first recipient she works on when she gets certified?
I tell you, it's just, it's not that it's amazing, it's just so wonderful. I mean, seriously, if we just realize, because I think most of us that have been doing BioTouch for any length of time and working down at our center in Tucson, we know, okay, who's coming in today for me?
Right.
And this is why we don't even talk about it, but I know every single one of us, when we finish with those sessions, what do we say to that recipient?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What are we thanking them for? We've just given them, we are thanking them because they were present with us as well.
Yes.
And they shared in that moment of equality and gave us this gift of just being present with them.
And that is a gift. That gift for me is, wow, thank you for allowing me to reach out and touch. Thank you.
Right on.
You
That's
know, I
it.
mean, without you, I could not be doing what I'm doing.
Ah, no.
There would be nothing
Plug
to do.
it
What am I going to do? Touch the
in.
air or something? You know, it's funny. We had a young fellow at Amity. It was that drug rehab community. And he was always perplexed because we said thank you. And
Oh, really?
and finally one day he said, "I got it. I know exactly why you say thank you because you have now sucked all my energy into you and you're thanking me for that
Oh,
opportunity."
oh, that's
I
wild.
mean, and
Okay.
he was
All
sort of
right.
joking, you know, but it
Yeah.
was a funny, you know, how he was so aware that here we were, you know, doing BioTouch and thanking him. It just was sort of
Wow.
out of the loop, you know, like, why are you thanking me? I should be
I
thanking
know.
you. So,
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah.
so, you know, we're really trying to get this BioTouch out there to people and all these little quotes. You know, if you have quotes out there that help us, you know, get BioTouch out there, please send them to us. Post them on our Facebook or our YouTube. Send them to us at office@justtouch.com. Because there's some really good quotes. I just posted another one from the third patriarch about what you talked about. You know, not identifying with the duality, you know, and giving up our opinions of me and mine. And BioTouch really helps us do that. You know, it's just hard to believe. And I just saw another thing. It was also in the New York Times, and it was on 60 Minutes or something. There's this big movement now talking about the PTSD of the military personnel,
Oh, yes.
and not only for them, but it's generational. So these kids that were growing, being raised by these parents that have this PTSD, they got PTSD, and they felt like they had to help their daddy or their mom, and so then they felt terrible. And interviewed this one kid, and I'm just like, oh my God, BioTouch needs to get into these military families that have this PTSD for the kids to do to the parents and the parents to do to the kids. Talk about the equality of all humanity.
So interesting that you bring that up. There is an organization in Sierra Vista, Arizona, not far from where I live. It is the VA is somehow connected to that, and I know that because my daughter works for them. They are an organization that addresses all of for the military. It's military based. One of the things they are very interested in is PTSD. And I'm about ready to take over some
Oh, yeah.
information and get involved with them because you're right. It is, my daughter deals with it in her job with the VA every day. She says it is the saddest thing. It just makes her want to cry.
Yes.
These people. Yeah.
And that's the beauty of our presentation of BioTouch. These kids, and I don't care if they're 6, 7, 8 years old or they're 15, 16, or 17 years old, they're sitting there feeling helpless,
Yeah.
helpless and hopeless. And to be able to have something that equalizes the game, equalizes the playing field, and says, I am a human being even though I'm 7 years old, and dad will use, you're a human being even though you might be in your 30s or 40s. And as human beings, we can help one another. And it can be done with this simple index and middle finger reaching out, touching lightly on the skin. The power of this goes beyond the universe. I mean, it just,
It's amazing.
it
I'm
is.
seriously, I'll say it one time again. BioTouch is a divine idea whose time has come.
Correct.
I truly believe that. I said that years and years ago, and it's still true.
And so the only difference between this technique and any other technique out there is really presentation, because all healing has to be equal. But you know, the presentation of BioTouch is truly one of equality and truly one of simplicity in getting started. As far as I can tell, I've not found anything that's been as simple. And yeah, there's a certain set of points later on, you know, that seem to get it complicated. But even just the greeting that we teach all the time creates a healing atmosphere for people. And that is our mandate. to keep it
That's our
simple,
mandate.
to keep it accessible to all people and all families.
That is the one major difference. It's accessible to everyone. Accessible to everyone, not just a select few. That's
And
the
just to put out the warning, you got to do it quick because they're getting ready to limit and monitor these people who are practicing, quote, energy modalities. They now have tests on how much energy output you're giving, and they say the more spiritual you are, the better healer you are. And pretty soon there'll be regulations with that. So we really need to get BioTouch out there immediately. It's really a revolution of love. It's really
Yes,
about
indeed.
getting it to the people quickly, getting it in their hands. You have those already. Let's use them.
Yeah. Yep.
And we have ways to learn it. You go to justtouch.com. You can download that greeting for free. It's from our manual. It has a link to the video showing you how to do it. It has words to tell you where those 2 points are. We also have a training. Our next training is a virtual one. It's a full-day training, July 20th. If you need continuing education credits for massage therapists, doulas, or nurses, we can give you those. And our next workshop is going to be really awesome. We have Karen Austin. She lives in England, yeah? And
Yeah.
she has Topaz Fitness Academy if you want to find out about her. And she's going to talk about menopause. And specifically, we're going to address some of these cortisol levels that happen during those times and the research that BioTouch found of being able to regulate cortisol levels. So that's going to be a really fun little interview
Will be
presentation by
amazing.
her. Yeah. Otherwise, get hold of us. Let us know how we can help you. Our mandate is to teach this, as Bev said. It's a divine idea whose time has come. So let's all play.
We are divine.
Yeah, let's all play divine. Let's dance to the tune of BioTouch. So, all right. If you got any questions, please let us know. And thank you for letting us into your home today.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Great day.
Days in and days out, space and time is all about feeling pressure with the pain, in sunshine or in the rain. Living is a place in mind, giving is being kind. When the pain is too much, what we need is BioTouch. When I'm touching you, you are touching me. It's a simple thing to do and a natural way to be.